This is Jack, and welcome to my home, which is in O'Fallon, Illinois, not too far from St. Louis. This is my playroom. And in this video, I want to show you my model railroad. It's also the area where I have my big theater organ. So there's a lot of attractions in this particular room. The railroad, as I call it, or actually the trains, started about March in 2010 with this segment right here, which involves two oval-shaped tracks and switching and a siding and then all of the scenery and the buildings, and there's two swimming pools in this one, and 5 tracks that switch. So you could do certain things. That's the control panel for it. But I decided to expand, and this control panels retract as well. They're on sliders. But I decided to expand, and I started this about January in 2011 because I'd always wanted a turntable that had a roundhouse with it. And I found a turntable online. Unfortunately, it was a hand crank type of thing, but I managed to put a motor on it. And then it just evolved from there. More scenery, more swimming pool, well, one more pool, lots of trees, cars, and a lot more track. And this couples into the other original part that we had, and it's you just don't run the trains in a circle. There's the control panel. There's 10 track switches on this, electric switches, plus controls where you can turn off individual sections of track. But like I say, the whole idea was I wanted to get a turntable so that you could exchange engines. Here's one coming out. This will hold 12. There are 12 spurs on it. And the whole idea is you get the engine you want, bring it over to the track, and put it on the main line. This particular layout, you cannot drive through the turntable. You can only go part way and then have to turn it. But I've got some 20 engines, 12 of which fit on the turntable, and others are in use. This shows the whole layout, which, like I say, started in 2011 in January to expand it. We can run up to 6 trains at one time, and they go into the original set as well. We got 2 of them running here at the moment. There's signs, street lights. Forget all the statistics of it. Like I say, I've got about 20 engines. I think there's 42 rolling stock cars. But there's a unique feature of this coming up very shortly. That's a diesel there. And this one's going to come up. This has dual engines on it. It's going to stop and focus in on something that's built into a flatbed car, and it's a TV camera, television camera. There it is right there, with the power supply for it in the second car, a coal car. And this is wireless, obviously, and goes to a projection system and projects on a 7-foot screen. We'll get the train going, and you'll see how it works. In building the scenery, I did it both looking at the table, the layout table, and then actually configured some of the scenery, the trees and the buildings and such, so as to how it would look on the TV screen. There's the screen where the train is moving. It's going through a little village, and you see everything that's going on, in color, of course. It actually projects to other television sets around the house. you get the train going too fast, you get sort of seasick out of it. Train sick, I guess would be the word. But you see all of the different scenery items that are glued on. This whole layout, by the way, is portable. Takes a few people, but it can be moved, which I do when we have organ concerts here. But here's the train that actually has the camera on it. I found this little ride, a German ride, a little car ride, and put it together as a kit. And a friend of mine sent me 5 more carnival rides. Well, that prompted me to add another 5 feet onto the end of this and make a carnival park out of it, sort of a Coney Island. And there you see it here. There's 6 rides altogether. They're all motorized. And rather than having an HO train, this has an N scale just to make it fit on the board. But it's all attached. There's no. It's not separate at all. It can be separated, of course, but the one train from one system does not feed into the other. But this is standalone. In the ceiling are about 8 different floodlights and spotlights that light things up. I think here we're going to try the individual rides. This happens to be what they call an octopus. They're variable speed. It was a lot of trouble building the kits because there were hundreds of parts. Here we have the merry-go-round or carousel on the left and the Ferris wheel. One of the tricky parts of putting these together is to put handrails on like you would find on a regular ride. Well, I didn't put the handrails on. Let's let the people fall out of the seats. But the people that I have in the seats are going to be glued in anyway. They're floodlights. They're actually off a Lionel train scale. This is called the Falling Star, I believe. If you notice, the place where the people sit doesn't always turn over. It's a mechanical problem, so I guess they'd fall out. In the background's a thing called breakdance. And then there's the 6th one, which is called the Sky Wheel, which just actually got completed yesterday. Today, by the way, is the 15th of September, 2011. So now we get them all going at once. The trains are all moving. So it's quite a bit of action to see. There's a whole separate control panel just for this part of the operation. So as far as the slide out control panel drawers, there's 4 of them all together. Here's another shot of it. And I think what we do is we turn off the lighting and you'll see what it looks like at night. In fact, most of the lights are dimmed right now. That's with the overhead lights turned off. So there's a lot of activity here. There's the 6 rides. There's the German car ride on the middle section. And the trains going with the TV camera. Like I say, you can run 6 trains at one time, but you got to watch out because you can have a wreck pretty easy. Here are the various control panels. That's for the carnival. There's a section in the middle where you put drinks and what have you. That rolls. All of them roll in and out. The next one's for the main section. And then there's the 4th one down at the end. And all of these slide in and out like dresser drawers. That's when they're on the in position right there. So that's an illuminated pizza sign. There's a theater that says Jack Moelmann at the theater pipe organ. houses, swimming pools, playgrounds, people, quite a few statistics. We're coming to the end of this. If you're ever in the St. Louis area, give me a call. You can come see it and play with it. So, thank you very much for your attention, and I hope you enjoyed the tour of Jack's Village.